In a small village, there was an old school where Srimant Babo, a wise and experienced teacher, imparted his knowledge. He was almost 70 years old, yet he continued to teach with the same dedication and passion. In this school, there were two gifted students, Rabi and Sujan. Rabi was an exceptionally hard-working student. He devoted all his time to studying, memorizing books with great effort, believing that hard work was the only path to success. Sujan, on the other hand, understood that hard work alone was not sufficient. He believed that intelligence and the right strategy were equally important. However, there was a significant difference in their circumstances. Rabi came from a middle-class family, and his sole responsibility was to focus on his studies. Sujan, on the other hand, was the son of a poor farmer. He spent long hours working in the fields alongside his father, struggling to make ends meet. Despite this, Sujan was determined to pursue his education. One evening, after a long and tiring day working in the fields, Sujan returned home. He was exhausted and hungry, but he still sat under the dim kerosene lamp and opened his books. His father, seeing him studying, said in frustration, "Why are you wasting your time with those books? Do you not see our condition? We are poor. What will studying change?" Sujan, trying to hold back his tears, replied softly, "Father, I know we are poor, but if I don't study, we will always remain poor. Education is the only way out." His father sighed deeply and responded, "You don't understand, Sujan. Education is for the rich. How can we afford to send you to school?" Sujan, with a trembling voice, replied, "I'm not studying for money, Father. I believe that if I work hard today, our lives will change tomorrow." His father was silent, staring at his son's determined face. That night, despite his exhaustion, Sujan continued studying, wiping away his tears. He understood that he had. The next day, Srimant Babo called both Rabi and Sujan to him and said, "This is the final test for both of you. You have a difficult task ahead." The two students listened intently. The teacher continued, "You must go to the top of the mountain and bring me a special flower. The first one to bring the flower back will be the winner." Both Rabi and Sujan agreed. The next morning, Rabi began his climb, determined to reach the top as quickly as possible. He struggled under the hot sun, sweating profusely, but he did not stop. He believed that only through sheer effort could he succeed. Sujan, however, did not rush. He paused and thought about whether there was an easier way to reach the top. He encountered an old man along the path and asked, "Is there a shorter way to the top?" The old man smiled and replied, "There is a narrow path behind the mountain that will make your climb much easier." Sujan thanked the old man and took the alternative path. By using, Rabi stood there, speechless, unable to comprehend how Sujan had managed to reach the top so quickly. Both students returned to their teacher, who smiled at them. "Rabi," the teacher said, "you worked very hard, but you failed to look for a smarter way. You believed that the more you suffered, the more successful you would be. But life is not just about hard work. It is also about working smart." He then turned to Sujan and said, "Sujan, you used your intelligence, but remember, always looking for shortcuts is not the right approach. Smart work only leads to success when combined with hard work." Tears welled up in Rabi's eyes as he realized his mistake. "I understand now, Guruji. Hard work alone is not enough. We must also have the right strategy." Sujan lowered his head and said, "I understand too. Choosing the easiest path is not always right. Success comes only when we combine both hard work and intelligence." The teacher placed his hands on their heads and said, "This lesson will guide you for the rest of your lives. To succeed, You must work both hard and smart. But remember, intelligence alone is not enough. Without hard work, success will never last. Years later, Robbie became a renowned scientist. He learned to balance hard work with smart strategies. Sujin, too, became a successful entrepreneur. He understood the value of working hard and using his intelligence to achieve his goals. One day, both Robbie and Sujan visited their old teacher. Srimant Babu, now very old, greeted them with a satisfied smile. They both said in unison, "Guruji, your final test made us successful in life." Tears filled the teacher's eyes as he said, "I always knew you both would become great." The secret to success is simple: the perfect balance of hard work and intelligence. Looking at their teacher, both Robbie and Sujan were filled with emotions. They realized that their success was. Lessons from the story: hard work is important, but without smart work, success takes longer to achieve. Always seeking shortcuts is not the right approach. Success comes through both effort and intelligence. Success without effort does not last. To succeed in life, we need both hard work and intelligence.